Hi, it's Sam. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use groove tilde to play back and also manipulate your sound files. So let's start off by making a buffer tilde object, which is necessary whenever you are working with an audio file. And we need to give it a name that the other objects like groove can refer to it by. So I'm just gonna give it the name Buffy. So here is our buffer, Buffy, and we need to find a way to put an audio file in here. I believe you can actually just drag a file onto it, though I don't usually do that. Let's try doing that. Oh yeah, that did work. Okay. So you could do that, but I'm going to show you a slightly more sophisticated way of doing this. We're going to use the file drop object. And I'm sorry, is it drop file? Yeah, it's drop file. Okay. And we're going to take the left outlet, which gives us the path name of the file, and we're going to prepend the message replace. So this will replace the current file with whatever file we've dropped here. Let's make that a little bit bigger. Okay, so now when I drop a new file, like say, I don't know, this Eroica, now when I open up, okay, nice and big. There's the contents. Or when I put in Cherokee, okay, great, so that's working. Now, next, let's start working with our groove. So let's make groove tilde, and we need to give it the name of the buffer that it's going to read from. So that's going to be Buffy. We also need to tell it how many outputs. So we're going to do 2 for stereo. And I'm going to give it the attribute loop 1 so that the sound file will loop when it reaches the end. From here, the way that we control groove is with a signal. So I'm going to make a sig tilde object, which just sends out an audio signal of whatever message you give it, whatever numeric message you give it. And I'm going to make a 0 and a 1 message box that I can connect to this float. And here, 0 will mean pause, and 1 will mean play back at normal speed. So let's hook this up to live.gain. Make sure you're always using some sort of gain before you reach the DAC. You want to protect your ears. And I'm just going to use an easy DAC here and make sure to put in the correct left and right in the right inlets and outlets. Okay, great. From here, we can play back. Let me turn on the audio and let's make sure it's not too loud. It already has something in it, which is good. So let's try. Okay. It's playing back the audio file, but only in one channel. And that's because this is mono, the sound file is mono, but it's expecting it to be stereo. So how can we make it so it'll still play back in stereo when it's a mono file? Well, there is a way to fix this. And first, we're going to use the sfinfo tilde, which tells us information about an audio file. And we're going to tell it to open the current file that we're looking at. And we can get that name by using the inlet from the drop file. Isn't that what it is? Is it drop file? I'm always reading this now. Drop file. Yes, that's right. Okay. So we got the name from drop file. We tell it to open that file. And then we should get the information from here, number of channels. Okay. And using this, which should be either 1 or 2, we can use a selector tilde object I'm going to give it the argument 2. That's the number of inputs. And we can just use this to direct the signal where we want it to go. So this will be, if it's only one channel, then we need to send the first channel to the second channel. But if there are 2 channels, we will need to send the second channel to the second channel. So this is just going to tell us how many channels it has, use that to select which way to route the incoming signals, and that'll give us the correct right channel. So we're just going to duplicate the left channel into the right channel if it's mono. Otherwise, we're going to send the correct right channel if it's stereo to the right channel. So now when we play it back, actually, it's not going to do anything because we haven't initialized the sfinfo. We need to send this back in. I think jongly, jongly is also, let's see, down here is also a mono file. So if I select that, it sent out a 1. So now this should be open, and it says it's open. So the left side is just going to be duplicated into the right channel. And now it should play back as expected. Great. Now if you notice, when I start playing it again, this is basically acting like a pause. It's just pausing wherever it stopped. It'll play back again from that spot when you hit 1. So I can actually use a 0 message to Groove directly to tell it to go back to the beginning. Now if I press 1 again, it'll start from the beginning. Okay. Now besides just 1 and 0, you can use any value in between to change the speed and thus the pitch as well. And if you use a negative value, it'll play backwards. So already you can have a lot of fun just with that part of Groove. But there's some more built-in capabilities that I think are also really nice that we can look at. And I'm just going to use the attributes here. I'm going to grab first time stretch, which I will turn on. And then I'm going to add pitch shift and mode and quality. Okay, mode and quality. So when you turn pitch shift on, or I'm sorry, when you turn time stretch on, you can independently change the pitch and the speed. So right now, when time stretch was off, you notice that when I change the speed, I'm also changing the pitch when I change the speed. With time stretch on, that no longer happens. So I'm going to be able to make it faster or slower, and the pitch is not going to change. Now, mode lets you pick a mode based on what kind of time stretching you're trying to do, but also whatever material you have, whatever kind of music material, it'll respond differently. So like rhythmic might be what I want to use for drums. But you can look at the Groove help. Let's see. And I think under, let's see, time stretch, it has a list of what the different modes are used for, which is useful. So let's just keep it on basic or general. And you can also select the quality. I'll just say like better for now. I think best is only relevant for some of the, what does it say here? Best is unavailable in real-time processing. Okay, so I'll just use better. And from here, you can also change the pitch. So now you could do something like make it a higher pitch, but make it slower. Okay, so this is just some of what you can do with the built-in functionality of Groove Tilde, as well as the way of setting up working with different objects that read audio files where you have to use a buffer. Hope you found this useful, and if you have any questions or want me to cover anything in particular, please let me know. Otherwise, until next time, class is dismissed.